Hello, scrapbookers and creative friends. I'm Linda Petuch. I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. And today I want to talk to you about 8x8 album and a couple of different ways that you can get some quick pages done. And I want to share that activity with you. Before I go any further though, I want to wish you all a happy 2023. And I thank you so much to my new subscribers and to my former subscribers as well. I really appreciate your support. If you are watching this video and you are not a subscriber, you can just push that little button and become a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber and when you subscribe, if you click that little bell, then you will be notified whenever I make a new video. So I do want to give a shout out to one of my new subscribers, Bunny, who said how much she loved my Quilted Memories calendar books because what I do is I make pages for each month in a different theme, and they're kind of paper quilts because I'm not a seamstress, but I love quilts. So I'm going to make a 2023 one. I have not done that yet, but I will put the links to the former ones that I've posted. I did them way back when, and forgive the videos. They were some of my first videos, and they not the best, shall we say. So in any case, I want to get started, and I want to share my take on a way to make a fast but fine 8x8, fast but fine 8x8 folded paper album. So I know everyone liked my folded paper videos, so I would like to share a little take I did on it with 8x8 albums. So let's get ready. Thank you. Okay, so I want to talk to you about 8x8 albums today because in December, just before the holidays, I had two of my friends and customers who wanted to make gift albums. And so I went onto the Creative Memories website and I found from Noreen Smith, who's our new product development and creative manager of Creative Memories. She had come up with this wonderful guide for a fast album formula, which is why I thought, okay, I can do this as a class, because once you do the cutting, you put these pages down. She gives you sample ways to the sketches so that you can use whatever paper you want, one pack of 12x12 designer paper, and you use her cuts and add embellishments and borders, punch borders if you want. But it was a lovely way to do it. So I decided to make a sample for my students coming for class, and I used a blue 8x8 album, and I used the Seaside Designer Pack because this album is going to be for one of our two family members who came to visit to Florida for the first time from Lithuania. So it was a very Florida experience for them. So I decided to use Seaside, two different Seaside paper packs. So this is the way Noreen has it laid out, so that you can pre-cut all the paper, and then you mix and match these different designs. And that way your base pages are ready. You use the leftover paper. If there's a little bit of leftover paper, you use that to match your photos, or not map them, whatever you wish. Add embellishments, and it is a beautiful way to get your 8x8 album completed. So one of my croppers did use this formula to make her 8x8 album, her gift album that she was making. But before they came over for the class, I thought, I wonder if there's another way that I could make an 8x8 album that could be quick, but could use these pocket pages. Creative Memories came up with these new pocket pages for the 8x8 album at the end of the year last year. And I love them because I really love the 12x12 drop-in pockets, and I wanted to try this with the 8x8 for the same reason, that you can put in, you load, they're called side loading pockets. You put your paper in, so that way on using one piece of paper, you can use both sides and enjoy both sides, because our designers have just made the most gorgeous paper, as I'm sure your Creative Memories, if you're a Creative Memories advisor or customer, you know how beautiful the designs are. So this is what I'm going to show you what I came up with. To make this, you do need an 8x8 album. I use this one because I had this album already, and it was very autumnal, and then our family did come visit in the fall, so I thought this would be a great thing to do. So I used this album, and I decided to use the pocket pages, and for this one I used the Tone on Tone texture pack, also from Seaside, the Seaside collection. So I am going to flip through the book very quickly. Don't want to make this too long, but I just want to show you the base pages. Now, I have not punched any extra borders. I haven't embellished. I haven't even printed the photos, to be honest. It's on my list. very, very close to the top, I will do that. But, so what I did, you chose this, and then I cut it, and you can see that you can see the paper on both sides, and using that beautiful Seaside texture pack, I filled every pocket. And you see some of them are like a double page spread, some of them are different, but because it's all the same, it's the same designer pack, you're going to have that same feeling throughout your album, and it'll all link together no matter which order you put them in. Now, the reason I don't have any photos in here yet is, I said, I have not printed them yet, and I have to decide how many I want to print for each layout. I do like printing at home for that reason, if you're able to do that, because then you can decide how many photos you want and what background you're going to put which photos on. So this is all of the pockets filled, and I will then, of course, be embellishing and so forth. But I would like to show you how I go about doing this. One thing to start with is, I don't know, some of you may do this. When I get a pack of paper, I like to pull them out, and then I will put them, I'll take them out and I will flip them so that when I go through, I can see both sides of the double pages. And that way it's just kind of easier to see what you're working with. And that's what I did through here. So once you get your paper out, you're going to use, again, one pack of paper. That's all you need for this whole 8x8 album, and you will have leftover as well. So what you do is you decide what you want to cut. I will cut for you. I'm going to do these two as a sample. Let me set these others out of the way. You will need your 12-inch trimmer. And of course, you'll need adhesive as well. I haven't adhered them down yet because I may be doing some borders punching, which you'll see in a second as well. So doing the math, we have a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Excuse me. We're going to need to take 4 inches off. So these two, these two double-sided sheets have overall patterns. So it's a non-issue for directionality, but you do need to be aware if you have paper that has a direction on it, decide if you want it vertical or horizontal in your book. So it would depend if you're going to cut your 4 inches off the side or off the bottom, okay? So, but I'm going to use this one to show you my technique. All right, so you can cut them together because it's designer paper. Our 12-inch trimmer will cut through that with no problem. So I'm going to cut the 4 inches off of here. You can line it up at the top or at the bottom, whichever's more comfortable for you. It's 2 pieces of paper, so just make sure you cut through. So now these are going to be the pages that you'll use in your book pocket pages, and these are extra, but keep those because you're going to be, you can make photo mats out of these, 4x4 photo mats, or you can do some border punching, okay? Just hang on there. So once you've cut all 12 pieces of paper and you've gotten those 4 inches off of it, you have your 8x8 pages left. So now comes the folding part. Now here's what I want you to think about. You need to decide where to take your 4 inches, because if we do the math again, we have a 12-inch piece and we need to make it 8 inches. So you can either fold over one side at 1 inch, and do 3 inches. You could do 2 inches on each side. You could fold it over this side, or you could fold it over on this side. Whatever you decide to do, what I'd like you to do to make sure that you have a nice clean fold is we'll switch out our cutting blade to our scoring blade on the 12-inch trimmer. And with all the blades, you do want to make sure the logos are facing when you pop them in there. Okay. So let's fold the dark over the light here. And let's just make a 4-inch fold on this one. I'm going to score it. And I don't know how well you can see that, but normally you can see it better yourself than on the camera. But I do like to bring in my 0 centering ruler or some kind of straight edge to make sure you get a very nice, beautiful, sharp fold. All right. And on this paper, we can fold in. I am going to fold the dark as well, but I'm going to do 2 inches on each side. I still have my scoring blade in there. That's the hardest thing, is remembering to switch your blades if you're doing multiple projects at a time. Okay, I see it. So let's line it up here. So here's our 2 inches here. And let's do our 2 inches here. Once you've done all the cutting really does not take that long. So once you've done that and you decide how you're going to score it, it's pretty quick for assembly. All right. There is my crease. There's my crease. Let me get my ruler here and make sure it looks nice and neat. Okay. Now, when you go to adhere this down, you can use your tape runner. I would highly suggest that you put the tape on the folded side, because if you put it here, you might be over the edge here, and that would be difficult to get off. So you're going to tape. I'm not taping it down yet because I might want to punch the edge of this, okay? So that's why I'm not taking that. I'm not doing that yet. So once you've done all your folding, then you can start putting them into your pockets. Now, just as with the 12 by 12 pockets, these little 8 by 8 ones come with cardstock inside. Don't throw that away. This is also photo safe, so keep that. You can punch with it. You can use it to base on, as a base for another page. So don't discard that. So what I did, just to be consistent in my album, there is on the pocket, I put the little opening for the pocket. I put that on the underside of the pages as I put them in the album. So I'm going to put no. I'm already thinking about this because I remember from doing this before. So I'm going to put the 4-inch fold on this side, but you'll see this is very flexible. You can switch it around. No harm done. It is very quick, very flexible once you get it going. In the pocket, blow on. There we go. Okay. So, the staples would be the center of where the center of the book is. So you can see you could use this as your double page layout, or you could have 2 of the grays together, just the solid gray together. You could have it like this. Very flexible, and the joy of this is too, because you have not stuck it down on a page, it's just slipped in the pocket. If you decide to change your mind, you don't like the way that looks, or you see that you need a complete, like a double page spread, you want to have this solid color all the way across, you can flip it around before you start putting your pictures on there. Now, in addition to doing that, I do want to show you in the album, because this is one thing I want you to be aware of. Use this technique. You have, because you are folding the paper, and you can change the fold. This could have been folded over, the gray could have been folded on top of here, but because you are doing this, you are going to have, you have this solid page here, you're going to have this one here. So they're not together in a double page spread, but the fact that it is one designer paper pack, it shouldn't, it doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, then this would not be a technique for you. But because it's all the same designer pack, if it's mixed and match, it doesn't matter. Because as we go along, you can see, you do have some double page spreads. You can choose that if you have more of a story to put on here. The whole idea is to get your base pages done quickly so you can focus on the journaling and on your photos, which is really what the most important part is. However, let's just take a look at this. I haven't done this yet in this album. I'm doing this for you live. I'm going to use the Border Maker cartridge because I would like to put some, I'm going to use the Border Maker cartridge with the waves on it. I would like to put some waves on this water right here. So it's already cut. You could do this ahead of time. I did it ahead of time, then you could just cut it off. But since we already have our folded paper, let's just use this. If you've not used the Border Maker cartridge before, it's really lovely to work with. You put your paper in, the magnets here that hold it down. You get that clip out of the way. And if you see along here all these grooves here, your border punch, the border cartridge is going to hook into there. So this will do a 12-inch, but we only have 8 inches to trim or to punch. So we go in. It'll do 4 punches for the 8-inch. Again, we're doing the math, right? Oh, I love some of these. I can't resist saving some of these. Okay. Now let's put this back in our book and watch what this little touch did. it is a lovely thing that you can add such a little touch like that. Here we go. And look at that. You've already embellished this. You can put one photo here. You could put little photos here, but you may want to put other embellishments. You may want a journal over here. But look at that, what a lovely touch that is just by adding that one little punch. Now, I would like to use another punch. Let's do, let's see. I think maybe on this one, and because this one has so many grays and blues, I really do like the look of it. Especially because this was their first trip to Florida, and oh, I think I might use this because this looks like sand to me. So I'm going to use our the border punch that has the seashells, and Creative Memories does put little marks on here for lining these up, but I added a little bit just so it's easier for me and my customers to see. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your paper. This is one of the leftover pieces, okay? You're gonna put your paper in here, line it up with that first line, give it a punch, and then you slide it over, and you want to line it up so that you cover up that blue. And make sure you keep it up at this side as well. Okay. Now we don't need the whole 12 inches, but who doesn't want a few extra seashells around? Especially being in Florida, we have so many tropical events because it's our backyard. So, okay. All right, so now we have this, and of course it's too long for this, unless Becky Below taught me this. You can fold these over sometimes if you want to make a corner border on it, or you can cut it. You can cut it off. And this would be kind of easy to fussy cut. I think I'm gonna, oh, I'm having another idea right here. I wonder, oh, let's try that. I think I'm gonna fold it over the edge. Let's try that. We're doing this together. I'm excited. Yes, I think I'm gonna do it like this. If we can put it like this. Oh, come on, and then fold it over. Oh, let's try it. Let's try it. Pause 1 second. Okay, I wanted to get my parchment. This is one of the cardboard inserts from an album, and I covered it with parchment paper. That way I don't mess up. Well, my mat looks a little messed up, but you don't mess up your mat so much if you have it. Oh, I'm looking at this side. I have both of those on there. I think I'm going to go with this. It has a little more texture look to it. All right, so and you do need to keep that closed so it protects your tape from getting stuck. The beauty of the repositionable is when you have something fragile like this, you can put those little dots without tearing it to shreds. And I do the parchment paper just so that it doesn't stick or make a mess. You can rub them off, but why make it more difficult if you have an easy way to do it? Okay, I'm gonna flip this around. Sometimes it's easier to go one direction. Okay. All right, so I think we will start with a sand dollar at the top here. I think I'm gonna like this a lot. So we have a sand dollar here on the edge. Then I'm gonna just fold it over. Look, a little bit crooked, but it's okay. So now I have it over here. So what I will probably end up doing, as I said, I haven't done any of my printing yet, but I think that I would maybe make a 4x4 picture right here. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. 4-inch. Oh, see, I didn't change my blade. I have the scoring blade. No, no, no. Need the cutting blade. But see how easy that is to change? And you can't get cut on it until you push down. Okay, there we go. Oh, I really like this. I'm so happy we got to do this together. Okay, so my page is like this. It's going to be like this. And then when I flip it over, yes, we'll have a little 4x4 up here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm excited. This is encouraging me to get my photos printed and get this book to them. It's the long trip to Lithuania. They don't know it's coming, but It'll be a beautiful surprise. I was hoping for the holidays, but we were luckily very fortunate to have lots of visitors and lots of activities going on, which we all missed for a couple of years, so I'm not complaining. Okay, so there we go. Now you add an embellishment here. I've added that little punch border here, and of course we have multiple embellishments. This is from the Seaside collection, and of course these beautiful, there are many beautiful stickers. Again, I don't want to add these until I have my photos down and see which of these sayings, because we always have like iconic things, and we'll have sayings and then borders. So I will be able to add and embellish. But by cutting those pages, you cut all 12 pieces of paper. Then you decide how you want to fold them and pop them in the pockets. And I think it's a really quick way to finish to get your book finished. And because again it's one designer paper pack, it's going to have that feeling, even though it's a mixed up as far as not always being double page spread. Once you put your photos on and your embellishments and your journaling, truly it's a background paper. So I hope that this makes sense to you. I will go ahead and put the directions in my description so that you can hopefully understand it. If you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask a question in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I see it, which hopefully will be right away. I will also ask you, if you are not a Creative Memories advisor and you don't have one, I would love to be your advisor. I will put the products that I used in there in the links too as well. So if you would like to click on that link to do some shopping, that would be lovely too. So I thank you so much for watching, because our time is valuable and I appreciate you taking time to watch. I hope you got some good ideas, and I thank you so much. Until next time, bye-bye.